So I've lived in the Woodlands for over 20 years, and I'm a relocation expert here. So I get to help families move to the Woodlands every single day from all over the state and the country and even the world. We've got international clients too. I answer their questions a lot. Texas is a really specific state to move to, and the Woodlands has a lot of details and nuance to it. And so on today's video, I'm going to answer the 5 questions that I probably get the most, or really tell you the 5 questions you need to be asking or the information that you need to know when you're going to be moving to the Woodlands within the next year. Let's jump in. Our first topic in question is going to be about property taxes. Now, if you're moving to the Woodlands and even Texas for that matter, from outside of this state, property taxes are going to be a common question that we get all the time and probably one that you're a little concerned about. So how do property taxes work? The assessed value of your home is then multiplied by your property tax rate. It's pretty straightforward and simple. The reason I say the word assessed versus like market value or appraised value is because the assessed value is what the county will view your home, kind of appraise it every year at. It's almost the Zestimate, right? It's their algorithm. They've never been in your house. They don't exactly know the ins and outs of the home, but it's their value that they're giving your property for that given year as of January 1st of that calendar year. Specifically to the Woodlands, the property taxes are actually pretty low compared to a lot of other communities in our area. I'd say on the low side in Grogan's Mill, you're looking at about 1.65% of that assessed value, to some newer areas like Creekside or Sterling Ridge, and they're going to be under 2%, probably about 1.9% of that assessed value. Now, this is going to be not taking into consideration any sort of exemptions you have, like homestead exemption or a senior exemption or a disabled military veteran exemption. We have a whole video about property taxes, how to file your homestead. And really that's going to come into play once you actually own the home. But how your home is assessed and how that affects your budget is the question we get all the time. And so what I typically say is if you look up properties or you see the sales price of the home or what it's listed for, take that price, multiply it, given the property tax rate, that's going to be your annual budget. If we have homestead, it's going to be about probably 10% less than that. And more than likely, the county's assessment will be less than that of which you actually pay for the property. So if you bought a $700,000 home, they may only assess it at $650,000, and then your exemptions begin to apply to it, helping lower that monthly bill. Now, the second question we get the most is where in the Woodlands should I specifically live? And there's a lot of factors that go into that, but if you don't know already, we are broken up into a village system, kind of like different sections to the Woodlands, if you will. So there are 9 different villages. They have their own characteristics. They have their own ages that they started being built and finished being built. And obviously, geographically, they're a little bit more spread out too. So again, we have a whole video specifically about the 9 villages and how it kind of the system works. But what you need to know about the villages is that it can determine which schools you're zoned to, what shopping centers are really close. If you have a specific grocery store that you want to be close by, maybe your church is just around the corner from you, or your kids' extracurricular activities. So all those can factor into what's the right location for you to live in. And so honestly, it's good for us to have a call so I can learn about that and learn about your commute and maybe how far you're going to be going and which location can help reduce that amount of time that you may be on the road. To kind of tag team with the last topic about property taxes, the different villages have different property tax rates. Now, again, they're all pretty low. They can range from anywhere from 1.6 to 1.7, 1.8 up to 2% of that assessed value. That's probably not the biggest determining factor for a lot of people. It's more so about schools, location, age of home, and then commute time is going to be the biggest things that'll make you choose which village you're going to live in. Now, our third question that we get is going to be around what kind of amenities are around me. Do I have to live in a specific village to get a certain type of amenity? And overall, the answer is no, you do not have to live in a specific village. You can go to any village shopping center, any village park. The only really amenity would be the specific school that you might be zoned to, right? So the Woodlands has lots to offer, whether it's our sidewalks or our parks, our swimming pools that we have, our community pools, things like our village centers, There's really great, dining and shopping towards the front of the Woodlands, which is really close to I-45. It's kind of the downtown part of the Woodlands area. Other amenities like park and ride systems to help you commute and carpool down into Houston if you're commuting down there. Lots of neighborhood events, right? Whether it's kind of summer camps for kids or just like 4th of July or kind of holiday events. We have the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, one of the biggest amenities in the Woodlands. It's the nation's second largest amphitheater, and it brings big ticket headlining artists right here to our community. It's one of my personal favorite amenities of the Woodlands. Also, pro tip, whenever you're here, you have to walk around the waterway, get outside, be in nature. It's really relaxing, and it's kind of in that hub of the Woodlands, probably where you end up having your hotel whenever you come visit. Speaking of hotels and your visit, the fourth thing that you need to know, or really the question you should be asking, is when are you going to come visit the Woodlands? Because I think this is a almost mandatory thing to do before you move down here. So what I mean by that is I call it a discovery trip. So plan a weekend to come down, rent a hotel. I'll give you all the recommendations you want, places to stay, food to eat, things to see. And if you're really considering moving here, relocating here, we'll go look at some homes, right? If your price point is, $1 million to 1.5 or 600 to 700 or, $300 to $400,000, we can set up showings on those specific types of properties so you can touch and feel what that feels like in a different village, what amenities are close by. So the reason I think that's important is because the market in the Woodlands can be competitive depending on what time of year you're looking. And so if you are going to be looking in a kind of more summertime, which is our heavier relocation time, I want you to feel familiar with the area price point village that you're going to be considering, but possibly from a distance. So we have people that come visit, they get familiar, then they go confirm that they are getting relocated. Maybe they put their home on their market like where they currently live, or they get that official relocation package from their employer. And we start actually showing them homes remotely. We do it via FaceTime. It's really good. I mean, between the photos online, some video, and our FaceTimes, we can get a really good feel for the property. So if something good comes on, I want you to feel confident that we can write that offer or take that next step for you moving here. So if that is you, and if that does apply to you, really wanting to take this kind of search process a little bit more seriously, down below in the comments is going to be a link to our website. You can also scan the QR code that's going to be on the screen, or even send me an email. Lots of options for you. What you can do with that is you can reach out. It's a casual conversation for me to get to know you, your family, what your criteria, what your timeline is, for us to set that up and maybe answer some more specific questions to you and your family that will help maybe clarify, knowledge is power, right? So clarify the search process. No pressure at all, but that'll be available for you. So our fifth and final question is most commonly, what is the actual real estate market like happening hyperly local in the villages in my price point? And although that may be hard to answer without knowing which price point or what you're looking for, overall, we are still seeing that for the Woodlands is a desirable place to live. Companies are relocating their employees here to the area. They want to live in good schools and a fun community, right? And so therefore, we're actually seeing that days on market in a lot of villages is actually less than 30. And I'm giving you that data right now at the time of this video, coming off of the winter months, which is typically kind of a little bit slow over time. So even in our slow times, we're still seeing that 30-day price point. In fact, there are many times whenever we are making offers on properties where there may be multiple offer situations. It's not crazy COVID times where we're having to go way above asking price, but we just have really good terms. I'm super connected in our community, so we have really great relationships with other brokers to be able to make sure that our offer gets accepted. Again, that $600,000 to $1.2 million range is quite broad, but that's the kind of the bulk of the homes in the Woodlands. Those family homes with pools and garages and plenty of space for you to grow up on a good sized lot. Is in high demand. So just be prepared for that, especially if you're coming kind of during summertime. But I'm confident we can find the right spot for you. That was a lot of information and hopefully a short, efficient amount of time. But the reason we make these videos is because I want to be your real estate agent. Whenever you relocate here, whether you're working with a relocation company or just moving your family here, I want to be your real estate resource of choice. Again, I've grown up here, I live here, and I get to help families move to the Woodlands every single day. And so reach out, again, no pressure at all, but we'd love to be able to connect and help you take those next steps. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you on the next video.